Have you ever received anything through the mail? Birthday card from grandma? Tax refund? Playboy magazine? More importantly, have you ever mailed anything through the US Postal Service? If so, then you are a communist! Or at least that's what H.L. Hunt would lead you to believe. Who's H.L. Hunt? Haroldson Lafayette Hunt Jr., H.L. to his friends, was a prominent oil tycoon in the 20th century. In fact, in 1957, Fortune magazine estimated that he was worth between $400 and $700 million, placing him in the 8th percentile of the world's richest people at the time. And while no one ever gets rich through philanthropy, he never gave a dime to anyone. At the time of his death, he was estimated to be worth a few $billion. It's also no small rumor that H.L. ardently believed that communism began in America when, and I quote, "the government took over distribution of the mail," end quote. Okay, let's see. The US Postal Service was established in 1775 by founding father Benjamin Franklin. Karl Marx writes the Communist Manifesto in 1848. I guess that makes up for the whole Sputnik space race thing. Sorta. Before the United States Postal Service, you either put on your trusty walking shoes or you hopped on your horse. Horses, by the way, are illegal immigrants from Spain. Somebody should really get Lou Dobbs and his Broken Borders people on the phone. And you galloped over to whomever you needed to talk to, in which case writing it down wasn't really all that important. You're fucking there. Just tell them. This is why people lived in communities. Communities? Communes. Communism! Because it was much easier to just lean out of your fucking window and say, "Hey Jethro, can I borrow your Sears and Roebuck catalog?" Now keep in mind, we still have independent competition when it comes to sending someone something. FedEx, UPS, DHL. Shit, we even have that connection of tubes called the internet. But all of these independent providers cost exponentially more than a 47-cent stamp. Nobody tells my grandma that she has to use the United States Postal Service, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying her a computer, teaching her how to go online so that she can send me an e-card and PayPal me $20 every time she celebrates the fictional birth of Christ. Is the United States Postal Service communist? Well, if you're H.L. Hunt and you couldn't find a way to make a half a penny profit off of a 2-cent stamp, then yes! There's no financial profit for him and it's run by the government, so it must be communist. It should also be noted that H.L. Hunt was BFF with everyone's favorite cross-dressing, obsessive-compulsive closet case, J. Edgar Hoover. Since the rise of J. Edgar Hoover in the early 20th century, people have been very fond of yelling, "Communist!" every time something upsets their private interest. Much in the same way that Hoover yelled homo every time someone presumably didn't give him a hand job in a Washington men's room. I'm talking to you, Senator Craig. Have you read the healthcare plan? No! Neither have I. I'm no hypocrite. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't read it. The last thing that I read that was over 1,000 pages was Stephen King's It, and it fucking sucked. And that book was written for entertainment. But I can tell you this, the healthcare plan, the healthcare reform plan, is not communist. Yes, it's government run, but it's not mandatory. It's being put in place because the private insurance companies, aka monopolies, are fucking with a serious portion of people out there who need affordable health care. Have you got insurance? Do you like your insurance? Good, keep it! But some people need an option that isn't being run by people like H.L. Hunt. You know what's communist? Social fucking security. Social Security is the government's way of saying, we know you work hard for your money. But once you get your money, after we're done taking our cut, you're gonna spend it like a drunken sailor in a Shanghai whorehouse. If you get sick and can't work, or if you actually live to retirement age, you're gonna need some money lying around. So tell you what, we'll just keep some of every paycheck you ever earn in your life, so you have a nest egg. Nah, that's good, thank you. But I would much rather invest the money myself. I can get a way higher return through my financial advisor, my accountant, privately managed securities. We will keep some of every paycheck you earn so you can retire. Arbeit macht frei. Social Security is communism, and when the Social Security system disintegrates in the next 2 decades, I will be filing a lawsuit. A very big fucking lawsuit. I know a lot of lawyers, lots of them. Jewish lawyers. Oh, and speaking of the Jews, all of you people who were yelling Nazi and drawing little Hitler mustaches on Obama, yes, it's your First Amendment right. to show the world how fucking dumb you are. You're even dumber than the people who have never bothered to look up the word communism before you spell it improperly on a picket sign. What do Hitler and Obama have in common? Barack Obama. Let's see, black guy. Single parent family, Columbia University, magna cum laude, Harvard Law. Wrote a book. He was also the Illinois State Senator and eventually became the United States' first black president and sought to instigate major change in a country he loved. Adolf Hitler. Let's see, white guy, a self-loathing Jew, went to art school, fought in the army, wrote a book. Let's see, became the leader of Germany, and I'm forgetting something. Oh, right. He also ordered the genocide of millions of people based on their religion, sexual orientation, and/or place of birth. Sounds pretty similar to me. So since all of you town hall ninnies love to blow off some steam based on half-truths and false associations, let's kick through a few more, shall we? Our country's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. But that didn't stop anybody from voting for John F. Kennedy, now did it? And speaking of, Kennedy was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald. Also, 3 names. There's also John Wayne Gacy, Mark Daniel Chapman. Stop giving your children 3 names! It makes them kill people! Keep an eye on that John Cougar Mellencamp motherfucker. Neil Patrick Harris, too. Sound ridiculous? It is. So I'll say it loud, and I'll say it clear. All of you out there, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Listen, I have no idea what I'm talking about. We're all dealing with the same misinformation and formulating opinions based on that. But there are 2 things that I know. Number 1, the government is never telling you the truth. And number 2, you are wasting my oxygen. Oh, and 3, Slayer.